can't do that.
Who are you carrying all those bricks for, anyway? God? Is that it? God? Well, I tell you, let me give you a little inside information about God. God likes to watch. He's a prankster. Think about it. He gives man instincts. He gives you this extraordinary gift, and then what does he do? I swear, for his own amusement, his own private cosmic gag reel. He sets the rules in opposition. It's the goof of all time. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't taste. Taste, don't swallow. And while you're jumping from one foot to the next, what is he doing? He's laughing his sick fucking ass off. He's a tight ass. He's a sadist. He's an absentee landlord. Worship that? Never.
Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven, is that it?
Why not? I'm here on the ground with my nose in it since the whole thing began. I've nurtured every sensation man has been inspired to have. I cared about what he wanted, and I never judged him. Why? Because I never rejected him, in spite of all his imperfections. I'm a fan of man. I'm a humanist. Maybe the last humanist. Who, in their right mind, Kevin, could possibly deny the 20th century was entirely mine? All of it, Kevin! All of it. Mine. I'm peaking, Kevin. It's my time now. It's our time.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth?
Hello, Professor Dawkins. How are you? I'm Ben Stein. I'm so sorry to keep you waiting. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
You have written that God is a psychotic delinquent invented by mad, deluded people.
No, I didn't say quite that. I said something rather better than that.
Oh, well, please tell us what you said. Please tell us what you said.
Well, I would have to read it from the book.
No, please.
The God of the Old Testament is arguably the most unpleasant character in all fiction. Jealous and proud of it, a petty, unjust, unforgiving control freak, a vindictive, bloodthirsty ethnic cleanser, a misogynistic, homophobic, racist, infanticidal, genocidal, filicidal, pestilential, megalomaniacal, sadomasochistic, capriciously malevolent bully.
So that's what you think of God?
Yeah.
How about if people believed in a God of infinite lovingness and kindness and forgiveness and generosity, sort of like the modern day God? Why spoil it for them?
Oh,
Why not just let them have their fun and enjoy it?
I mean, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. I write a book, people can read it if they want to. I believe that it is a liberating thing to free yourself from primitive superstition.
So religion is a primitive superstition?
Oh, I think it is, yes.
So you believe it's liberating to tell people that there is no God?
I think a lot of people, when they give up God, feel a great sense of release and freedom.
Why do you think that? I mean, what's your dad? What's your scientist? What's your dad?
I think, well, I've had a lot of letters saying that, and I've...
There are 8 billion people in the world, Dr. Dawkins. How many letters have you had?
No, I haven't done that. That's quite true.
Professor Dawkins seemed so convinced that God doesn't exist that I wondered if he would be willing to put a number on it.
Well, it's hard to put a figure on it, but I mean, I'd put it as something like, 99% against or something.
Well, how do you know it's 99%?
I don't.
Say not 97%.
No, I did. You asked me to put a figure on it, and I'm not comfortable putting a figure on it. I think I just think it's very unlikely.
What? But you couldn't put a number on it?
No, of course not.
So it could be 49%.
Well, it would be. I mean, I think it's unlikely, but it's quite far from 50%.
How do you know?
I don't know. I mean, I put an argument in the book.
Well, then who did create the heavens and the earth?
Why do you use the word who? You see, you immediately beg the question by using the word who.
Well, then how did it get created?
Well, by a very slow process.
Well, how did it start?
Nobody knows how it started. We know the kind of event that it must have been. We know the sort of event that must have happened for the origin of life.
And what was that?
It was the origin of the first self-replicating molecule.
Right, and how did that happen?
I told you we don't know.
So you have no idea how it started?
No, nor has anybody.
Nor has anyone else. What do you think is the possibility that intelligent design might turn out to be the answer to some issues in genetics or in evolution?
It could come about in the following way. It could be that at some earlier time, somewhere in the universe, a civilization evolved by probably some kind of Darwinian means to a very, very high level of technology and designed a form of life that they seeded onto perhaps this planet. Now, that is a possibility and an intriguing possibility. And I suppose it's possible that you might find evidence for that if you look at the details of biochemistry, molecular biology. You might find a signature of some sort of designer.
Wait a second. Richard Dawkins thought intelligent design might be a legitimate pursuit?
And that designer could well be a higher intelligence from elsewhere in the universe.
Well,
but that higher intelligence would itself have had to have come about by some explicable or ultimately explicable process. It couldn't have just jumped into existence spontaneously. That's the point.
So Professor Dawkins was not against intelligent design, just certain types of designers, such as God.
So the Hebrew God, the God of the Old Testament, he doesn't exist in your view?
Certainly, I mean, that would be a very unpleasant prospect.
And the Holy Trinity of the New Testament, that doesn't exist?
Nothing like that.
Do you believe in any of the Hindu gods? Like Vishnu?
How can you ask such a question?
You don't, right?
How could I? I
Do
mean,
you
why
believe in-
would I, given that I don't believe in any others?
You don't believe in the Muslim God?
No. I mean, why do you even need to ask?
Well, I just wanted to be sure. So you don't believe in any God anywhere?
Any God anywhere would be completely incompatible with anything that I've said in
I assume.
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. You don't believe in any God anywhere?
No.
What if after you died, you ran into God? He said, what have you been doing, Richard? I mean, what have you been doing? I've been trying to be nice to you.
Yeah.
I gave you a multi-million-dollar paycheck over and over again with your book, and look what you did.
Bertrand Russell had that point put to him, and he said something like, "Sir, why did you take such pains to hide yourself?"
But if the intelligent design people are right, God isn't hidden. We may even be able to encounter God through science, if we have the freedom to go there.
Dawkins told the crowd they should ridicule religious people. Let me quote him. He says, "Mock them, ridicule them in public. Their beliefs are insane, therefore they should be ridiculed with contempt."
Years in the future, this may serve as a reminder, like a verbal time capsule. Honor your treasure, meant for the minds that denied in the past, ignoring the signs every time that we ask you to listen. You dismissed us consistently, and now you're living out prophecy. First-hand witness to the times and the miseries. No denying all the signs and conspiracies. We poured a hard time and urged you to listen, implored you to think, to make the right decision. Laughing aside, you just played the devil's advocate. Every time you heard the truth, you turned the opposite. Rejected anything that stood against your politics. Convince yourself that you were good by thinking positive. Always the optimist, are you still confident that ignorance is bliss during the apocalypse? Smack dab in the middle of the storyline, slap in your face, shift in your paradigm, search in your mind for the memories you blocked out. Information that you knew was true but locked out. Conversations that you wish could be repeated. Warning calls that you wish you would have heeded. Thought all those Christians were living in denial, but now you do anything to understand the Bible. Every day triggers old memories, reminders, remaining remnants remembered by survivors. Pieced together from the fragments of a quagmire. Lost souls gathered hungry around a campfire. Brought together through the calmer recollections. Torn apart by the warnings that they questioned. Looking back, they knew this day was unavoidable. They hated God, embracing sin whenever possible. Gave control to everything they knew was evil. Sold their soul epiphanies. All the what ifs and lost possibilities. Cities burn like a giant crematorium. Mountaintops collapse like an accordion. Wars are rumbling, governments crumbling. Storm clouds gather around, hear the thundering. Smack dab in the middle of the storyline. Slap in your face, shift in your paradigm. Searching your mind for the memories you blocked out. Information that you knew was true but locked out. Conversations that you wish could be repeated. Warning calls that you wish you would have heeded. Thought all those Christians were living in denial, but now you do anything to understand the Bible. Anarchy reigns in the streets, in the alleyways. No escape from the pain in the end of days. Left alone with no internet or telephone. Cities are graveyards, crumbling catacombs. Apocalyptic wickedness and pestilence. Epidemics and afflictions, malevolence. No protection, no government or military. Just infections and really full cemeteries. Catastrophes on another level biblical. Miserable when the locust swarm is visible. Turn and run from the state, you knew the outcome. Acting dumb and ignorant and asking how come. A social justice warrior with your politics. Emotional, convince yourself with willing ignorance. Way too late, no excuse could ever save face. And now you're living in a world without a safe space. Smack dab in the middle of the storyline. Slap in your face, shift in your paradigm. Searching your mind for the memories you blocked out. Information that you knew was true but locked out. Conversations that you wish could be repeated. Warning calls that you wish you would have heeded. Thought all those Christians were living in denial, but now you do anything to understand the Bible.
What if you're wrong?
Well,